Bangladesh has been on the boil for the last 36 hours, viewers. Osman Hadi, a very prominent leader of the 2024 student uprising, was shot last week by masked attackers outside a mosque. Protests erupted after he died in Singapore 6 days later. And since then, on your screens are those images of the protests that have engulfed parts of Bangladesh tacitly approved by Muhammad Yunus's regime. On your screens are those specific visuals that tell you how volatile the situation is right now in Bangladesh and, more importantly, what it means going forward. I'm going to first play out that soundbite of Muhammad Yunus, the interim leader of Bangladesh, who's been in power now for 17 long months. Listen in.
আগামী দিনগুলোতে আমাদের সবাইকে ধৈর্য, সংযম, সাহস ও দূরদর্শিতার সঙ্গে এগিয়ে যেতে হবে, যাতে নির্বাচন ও গণতন্ত্রের শত্রু ফ্যাসিস্ট সন্ত্রাসী অপশক্তিকে চূড়ান্তভাবে পরাজিত করা যায়। এই শোকের মুহূর্তে আসুন আমরা শহীদ শরীফ ওসমান হাদির আদর্শ ও ত্যাগকে শক্তিতে পরিণত করি, ধৈর্য ধারণ করি, অপপ্রচার ও গুজবে কান না দেই এবং যে কোনো হঠকারী সিদ্ধান্ত থেকে বিরত থাকে। যারা দেশকে অস্থিতিশীল করতে চান তাদের ফাঁদে পা না দিয়ে আসুন আমরা সবাই ঐক্যবদ্ধভাবে গণতন্ত্র, ন্যায় বিচার ও গণমানুষের অধিকার প্রতিষ্ঠার পথে অবিচল পদক্ষেপে এগিয়ে যাই।
All right. Let's get you more details on that big story. Bangladesh on the boil. An enraged mob went on a rampage in Dhaka's Dhanmundi. Now, Dhanmundi is the traditional family home of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who used to be the father of Bangladesh till his memory has been completely scrubbed by the Islamists under Muhammad Yunus's regime. Now, protesters vandalized Chayanath Sanskriti Bhavan as well late last night. They smashed windows, they ripped down fixtures, defaced iconic cultural center which is now in complete ruins, all while celebrating. The debris littered the premises by morning as police struggled to regain control in that area. It doesn't end there, viewers. Let's get you more visuals of the complete chaos that's engulfed Bangladesh. Those anger on the streets turned against Bangladesh's press. In central Dhaka, an angry mob stormed and set ablaze Daily Star office. Daily Star is the national daily, most widely read. Flames ripping through the newsroom as smoke filled the night sky. Another leading daily, which is Prathamalo, was also attacked by an angry mob which seems to be running completely its free writ in Bangladesh. Fresh visuals, let me now show you, of Bangladesh show both the newsrooms charred and gutted with firefighters still on site cooling smouldering debris as the scale of destruction from last night's violence becomes absolutely clear. Now, let me talk about specific individuals because those have been targeted. Nurul Kabir, a veteran journalist, editor of New Age, was dragged out of his car, brutally beaten by a mob. Why is it that mob is ruling Bangladesh since last August is the larger question. Shocking visuals show the senior editor being assaulted right there in public domain with so many people willing to beat that editor. Dhaka's press corps is rattled. Journalists now fearing if they've become direct targets in this political firestorm. It's not just a political firestorm, it's a mobocracy that's ruling Bangladesh now. Following this violence, army has been deployed outside the mission, that is the Indian High Commission, which is vulnerable and a very high value target for these Islamists who've tried to do that in the past as well. Heavy security that you can see on your screens. India has issued a safety advisory as Bangladesh's interim chief, Muhammad Yunus. We played out that soundbite of him trying and appealing for calm. But the question still remains, why is it that he hasn't been able to get these mobs under control? That's the larger story. Those visuals of vandalism, arson, and complete mobocracy telling you exactly what's happening right now in Bangladesh. Chaos, anarchy. Let's get in Mohammad Kamaruzan, who's joining us live on the broadcast. And we'll also get Veena Sikri, former High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh, Zia Hassan, who's a political analyst, joining me live from Dhaka. as we explore what this means for Bangladesh, what this means for the India-Bangladesh relationship, which is in the overhang of all that has happened in the country in the last 16 months. Mr. Hassan, let me start with you first. We're putting out those visuals. There's also a very disturbing visual which we cannot put on our screens of that Hindu factory boy who was dragged out and beaten and publicly hanged and executed from a lamppost last night in Bangladesh. What is happening? Zia Hassan, can you hear me?
I didn't realize that you were asking this question to me.
I am.
Thank you. No, it's definitely a very volatile scenario. Osman Hadi was a prominent figure of the movement that has ousted Sheikh Hasina and his murder, and also the news that following his murder, the killer has absconded to India, and also.
Those are unconfirmed reports, Mr. Hassan. Till they are confirmed, I will not allow that to be said here on the broadcast. Yes, finish your point.
Yeah. So surely this murder has resonated with a large section of the society, but at the same time, we have to distinguish between the feelings felt by the large section of the society and the very small minority groups that try to take advantage of the situation. What we have followed the news that what happened last night, only a mob of 500 to 600 people, they were very active in vandalizing the Prothomalo and also the other installations that were attacked and then vandalized. So clearly there is a failure of law enforcement security agencies to control them. But then again, we need to distinguish between the anger and the rage and the sorrow that was felt by millions of people due to the murder of Osman Hadi, and also how a small group of people capitalized it.
In less than 8 weeks, Bangladesh hopes to hold elections. And this is how the mobocracy is ruling in that country. Mr. Hassan, let me get in a fresh word from Mohammad Kamarzan, who's joining us as well on the broadcast. Kamarzan, this is Gauri here in the studios. You and I have spoken in the last 16 months about that very difficult road towards some sort of normalcy for this country of Bangladesh. Unfortunately, normalcy doesn't look like anywhere close to it. It seems to be a mobocracy right now.
Thank you very much for having me. Actually, since last night, I am on the street. I was at Dhanmundi 32 last night, and I asked this question to the protesters: why are you so much angry with this settlement? What they replied is that the 32, how the former President Sheikh Mujib or former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, they considered that as an item of fascism. That's why actually they were so much angry, because Hasina fled to India, you know that very well that. That's why actually after the brutal murder of Sharif Osman Hadi was very popular figure here. Actually, they were a little bit out of control and they're so much angry. So they started vandalizing that already vandalized building at 32. And here now I am in Shahabad intersection, and just look behind me, the road is fully blocked. And hundreds of protesters who were here since last night, they blocked the road and they are now chanting slogans. And many of them actually, they are accusing also India for harboring the criminals, and especially the killer of Sharif Osman Hadi, according to some reports, though it's not verified.
So this is what happens. This is what happens in the case of misinformation. There is no confirmation whatsoever that those killers have come to India, but the misinformation leads to this kind of vandalism. But I want you to show us around. You said roads behind you. That's a very prominent public square where you are standing. It is completely blocked. If you could show us around what's really happening behind you.
Yes, just look, there are so many hospitals here, government hospital and the Bardem hospital, where so many patients are. Actually, this intersection is now fully blocked due to the huge presence of protesters here. And they are chanting slogans and they are demanding to the interim government led by Professor Yunus to take back the killer of Sharif Osman Hadi, according to their statement. From India, and execute punishment. Otherwise, they would continue their demonstration. And they said that if there is no progress, their demonstration will be bigger in the coming days. And they are warning. And it's really a matter of tension for the people of this country, because you already mentioned that the election is on February 12th, according to the declaration of the interim government. So really tension is rising across the whole Bangladesh, and such demonstration we came to know being held at other parts of the country, different parts. And the protesters, they are chanting slogan that, "Who are you? Who am I? Hadi, Hadi." That means Hadi is a figure who is considered to be as a symbol against fascism, and he raised his voices all the time. And during the July uprising, Hadi played a very pivotal role to ignite the young generation. So his death was a matter of great shock for not only these people, but also the whole people of this country.
Mohammad Kamrazan, I'm going to come to you with one more question, but I want to take a quick word from Veena Sikri first, and I'm going to come back to you. Veena Sikri, Mohammad Kamrazan is actually now reporting from a very important public square, and he was talking about Dhanmundi being vandalized. There's nothing left in Dhanmundi. It has been burnt, it has been vandalized again and again. It almost seems like there is now a cycle of violence and arson that Bangladesh is now engulfed in.
Well, I think we have to be very clear that what is prevailing in Bangladesh is complete anarchy. This question of feeding a rumor within minutes of the person, the student leader Osman Hadi, being shot, India was being blamed and the Indian High Commissioner was being called in. It is completely a complete misinformation, and the forces that should maintain law and order are unable to control the situation. Look at the remarks made by Professor Muhammad Yunus. He is saying, please be calm. He's fiddling while Rome is burning. He's behaving like King Nero. He's just fiddling while Dhaka is completely on fire and nobody is able to control the situation. And all that your panelists from Bangladesh are interested in is to put the blame on India.
Exactly.
And actually this is the role of the Jamaat-e-Islami and all the Islamists, because they are burning all the institutions connected with culture and liberalism.
Exactly. This is the complete radicalization that has happened in Bangladesh, and Jamaat-e-Islami being mainstreamed, and it will be contesting in the elections as well. Veena Sikri, I want to take a quick word from Kamrazan. I'm going to come back to you, and then Zia Hassan as well. Kamrazan, now I want you to tell our viewers how things look right now. You had a very, very difficult night. How things look right now. Through the night, there were protests, there were violence, reports of arson coming in. How are things looking right now?
Yes, the situation obviously very volatile. The people are so much aggrieved. They want to see the killer of Sharif Osman Hadi at any cost, who was a figure of changing in this country. So situation really very volatile. People are so much aggrieved and they want to fulfill their demand at any cost. In a nutshell, I can say this is the smell.
Zia Hassan, how do you want to respond to this? That there is no confirmation whatsoever of the fact that the killer has come to India. There is no confirmation. There is no such clarity there. But it took one rumor, one anti-India rumor to start for radical Islamists, for jihadis, for Jamaat-e-Islami supporters to take to the streets, start the vandalism, and of course anything that they thought had any cultural linkages whatsoever with India.
So we have to understand the context that we are operating. Sheikh Hasina is now under refuge. She is openly calling for violence. She has openly called, she would not allow the election to take place. And India is supporting Sheikh Hasina instead of Bangladeshi people. So it has created a sense of antagonism against India, which you can understand in this situation when one of the prominent leader of the movement, which has ousted Sheikh Hasina, when she actually killed 100,000 people, among them 27 students and kids. And this is a very, aching memory in the hearts of people. It has not erased. So in this context, such situation can happen. But I also want you to understand that this is a situation, what we may term as a riotous scenario that happens in a night or in a day. And then we need to also understand that the incidents before that, or the days before that, or days after, things were normal. Bangladesh is not under any complete chaos and anything. Bangladesh is heading towards an election, very orderly election. In that election, we also have to understand this is a post-revolution government. In this government, during this period, lots of things are very fragile.
Zia Hassan, I'll have to correct you there. It's not a government. it's an interim government. It's an interim government
Yeah,
which had a
exactly.
role
Yeah,
of only
interim,
providing
and that-
stability
the word
and
is
lead the
government.
country
So
to
it
elections.
means interim,
It
the word is
undertook
government.
constitutional
This is the
reforms, it
government.
undertook legal reforms, and it has been in power for almost 17 months and will be 19 months by the time a formal, democratically elected government actually takes place. Veena Sikri has a point to make quickly. Quickly, Veena Sikri.
Yes, I want to say that it is the Islamists who are egging on the people to kill every symbol of the liberation war and of the plural society of Bangladesh. I do not know why your channel is not discussing that last night a young Hindu boy of 30 years old was beaten to death, his
He said
body was
that.
tied to a stake and it was burnt. I mean, such cruelty, such abhorrent cruelty is not in the 21st century. It shows a society which is wanting to go back to a period of Islamic radicalism and want to push out any symbol. But I must tell you that the people of Bangladesh are not like this. These are small little mobs egged on. The people of Bangladesh want their plural society back. And no matter what your panelists from Bangladesh may say, we know that this is all to cover up the situation, all to put the blame on India, and Mohammed Yunus is not able to control the situation. The Indian Assistant High Commissioner in Chittagong was attacked last night. Rajshah and Khulna were attacked yesterday.
Yes.
Day before was Dhaka being attacked. There is no explanation from the government of Bangladesh. They have not responded to what our government had called in the Bangladesh High Commissioner and spoken to him. Why is the Bangladesh government so indifferent to what India has been saying? Why
The
are they
question
burning
is-
and killing? Why are they burning and killing the minorities? They are doing it repeatedly for the last 18 months with no response at all. All that they can point to is that these people want the kill of, find the kill of Osman Hadi within your own country. Please do an inquiry. You
All right.
already did one fake trial of Sheikh Hasina without any kind of legitimacy of, as you said yourself, it was a democracy appointed court. And now you're claiming that on the basis of that fake trial, you want some kind of...
All right.
Please,
All right.
please let us get some normalcy back. Let's get some rule of law and let's make sure
All
that
right.
the election is inclusive. Do not leave out the Awami League, Jatiya Party and others from the election.
All right, I'm going to leave it there. But Veena Sikri, rest assured, I have always spoken about the specific cases, and I did mention both Deepu Chandra Das, and let me remind our viewers, as far as Chinmay Krishna Das as well, who continues to languish in jail with not even a bail hearing being coming up for him in the last 13 months.